This one is about a little idea I had last night, and when you get those late night thoughts, so I quickly had to jot it down. This kind of a paper here, and then I thought I'd make it at least an enlargement so it could be explained a little better. I came up with this a multi-tool concept, which I don't think anyone has made yet. So, and I'm sure a lot of people would appreciate something like this, myself included. So this is the Tinker Multitool, and basically, it's kind of like your Swiss Army Leatherman, smaller to mid-size. Um, like the SD and stuff with your scissors and this and that and that. I think I kind of catered this around to what I like. So, what I like is the little mini flathead, which can also work some of the Phillips, and with a little file on the side. Um, Maybe a 2 inch, 2 1/4, 2.5 inch max. Blade. Maybe for traveling purposes. I don't know what the standards of the sizes or what they accept or they don't accept. Maybe that could be taken into consideration. But generally speaking, whatever a standard little penknife type blade I think would be sufficient. It's just a tinker tool. And for the other side, of course, the little Swiss Army type scissors. And what I also like for the Swiss Army was I would prefer to have the mini chisel. I mean, that's a great tool, and to use this tool, you have to carry around like the Champ or some of their bigger models and stuff. Um, and so, right, I forgot my main purpose here was what I wanted was a drawing compass built into this multi-tool, where you had your positioning pin on one side, and then a pen or a pencil, whatever would be easier, and also keeping in mind for having a replaceable, possibly a lead, if it's a pencil, possibly spare leads, or and I was also thinking possibly a spare little needle pick, like instead of just a standard needle, maybe one with a little hole in there as well. And of course, this little case being built into the tool. I mean, they're just slight little slender things. I think that should be, very possible, very easy to do. And right, so in these I made so that you would just push the button, and these things would come out and go back in. And right, I just made a side note here. Probably not enough room for an LED light type thing, and strictly mechanical. I think the more mechanical this can be, the less tendency is for any type of failure. And I'll talk about this in a bit actually here. I just want to make sure I go over all these points. Right, and the approximate length of this whole tool I thought would be 3.5 inches, I think would be a good size. Possibly 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch wide, depending on how this can be manufactured. And I know a standard multi-tool with a two tool wide set, it's approximately what, three quarters of an inch, including the scale. And I think aluminum would be fine for the outsides. You would just want all your tools in a high quality stainless, and everything else could be aluminum type to keep the weight down and everything. And yeah, and back to this compass point, we've seen many types of multi-tools these days with this arrangement here with the hollow ring. And without going into the names of the companies, there's at least two that I know that do that right off the top of my head. So I think this is a cool design where, you know, it pivots like this. And I thought, hey, well, why not include the, you know, a compass in here? So you've got a 360-degree marker for your compass, right? If you've got a building project, or, you know, whether it's artistic or building or architecture or what have you. It's a very useful tool, obviously. And just before making the video, I thought, you know what, the one thing it's missing is the pocket clip. So let's make the clip designed right into the top of this dial, and that way it won't interfere with the other mechanism that opens and closes. And yeah, it would be overlapping that edge as well, and that would be just enough to grab like your shirt pocket or your pocket or whatever, and it would be, what do you call these things? Top end carry or something like that. I know there's a terminology for that. I'd have to go watch some Gear Best videos to find out. I know Fred knows. Yeah, so we covered the 360 thing there. This thing there. Right, and I thought when I finished doing this one, as I was finished doing this one, I thought, you know, hey, I was thinking of adding other tools, and I was like, nah, I think you've maxed out the purpose for this tool. But if there could be another one, it could be a deluxe model, Tinker Multitool Deluxe. It could be, you know, 6 inches instead of the 3.5, and then obviously you could add more tools in there, like your pliers, a saw, perhaps a LED light, etc. So that was also an idea I had. And to show you the other side, just give me a sec here while I reposition the tape. Okay. And the other side, I thought of having, you know, so it's all flat, the back of this tool, and let's have it so that these little, I was thinking aluminum at first, but perhaps these would be better because they're so thin, just like a very thin ruler that would slide out, you know, existing on top of the multi-tool itself. These are just thin little plates that pivot out. And what these plates would have you would have a 6-inch ruler, and if you want, you could have your metric on the other side, and then once again having a 360 dial on both sides, because I mean, why not? Let's make use of that. And then having the little stencil cutouts and for symbols on here as well, I thought would be a great little idea. You know, the wave, minus, plus, hexagram, pentagram, triangle, square, diamond, circle, the energy, electricity symbol, and that these little things on here on the ends are little buttons or switches that could unlock and lock these little plates. So when they slide off, you know, you could just maybe just like a little push thing, and then that'll loosen it, and you could pivot them up. So there'd be one on each side. And when you pivot them both up, that would give you a 6-inch ruler, and a straight edge with all the measurements and markings. I thought just on the end of these, it would be cool to have just like a little hole. Same on this side. They come in handy for different reasons. You know, you can put your pen in there like this, or pencil as well, or your pick. Put it in there, right? And you can quickly scribe a curve. So that's why the holes on the ends of these would be ideal on these plates. So yeah, I think these would be cool if they were like a stainless steel. And maybe the clip would be better off on this side, It's also something I just thought of. I don't, yeah, maybe to keep that away from the other, main mechanisms of the tool. Yeah, maybe the clip would be better suited on the back side. Ah, I see, I wasn't thinking. There we go. Okay, yeah, I think I covered everything. So this is my Tinker Multi-Tool idea.